Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and welcome to the first episode of a mini-series here on my channel where I will be showing you how to build a house for each of the 13 villager professions. So if you want to see the rest of these builds over the weeks to come, don't forget to subscribe. Now those of you who watch my survival series will probably recognise these builds from my custom village project, and many of you requested that I make tutorials for them, so here we are. However, I do just want to mention that a wonderful YouTuber and builder by the name of Mythical Sausage was the first person to make a series like this, so I'm giving credit where credit is due. Go check out his videos if you want some alternative designs. I'll leave a playlist link in the description. But without further ado, let us begin with the Cleric's house. As I do with each of my tutorials, every one of these videos are going to include a materials list, and everything inside of this chest right here are all of the items needed for the Cleric's house inside and out. So it's mainly consisting of spruce and oak wood of all of the variants, a little bit of white terracotta and then some bricks, and the rest of the items are really just miscellaneous and everything going on the inside. So gather together all of these items, but if you don't have a couple of the decorative blocks down here at the bottom, the dead brain coal for example, don't worry too much about it. You can always get a replacement or just leave it empty. It's not that big a deal, don't worry too much. This build roughly takes up a 13 by 11 area, so before you start building, just make sure you have enough room to actually fit everything in. But once you have all of that done, we can then start placing in our pillars using the stripped spruce logs here. So the first one we're going to place down right here and then leave a gap of 5 blocks and place another one. Our doorway is actually going to be going right there on that block, so do remember when you're thinking about direction of this build. We can then come in 3 sideways from this block and place another one, another gap of 3, one more gap of 3 here, and then another one along this way, and then one more gap of 3 with a gap of 1 right there. And then round this side we can have a gap of 1, a gap of 1, and leave us with a 3 wide gap in the middle here. So we should have something like this to start out with, and then what you can do is bring up all of these pillars by 3 more blocks for a total of 4, except this one right here. So bring them all up except from that one. Once you've got all of that done, we can then come along to this lonely log and place down 1 block either side of it and then 1 diagonal with a single block in between each of those to make a nice little square, and then we want to bring each of these pillars up by 10 more blocks for a total of 11. Once you've got all of your pillars in place, we can then start work on the roof. So we're going to come to the front of the house here along this 5 block gap right here, and we're going to have 2 upside down stairs on the top of each of those logs with a regular one coming out the back. A full block can go on top of those with another stair once again, and basically we're just going to staircase our way up all the way to the top until these 2 points meet right in the middle. Just like that, where we can have an upside down one with a regular one on top and then another upside down one just like that. And then we can grab our slabs and trapdoors, and we're going to actually have a slab on the top part of this upside down stair here either side, a spruce trapdoor on both sides with another slab in the middle. And then on top of the trapdoors we're going to have a slab, and on top of the slabs we're going to have a trapdoor so that we get something looking like this. Swinging around to the left hand side of the build, we're going to add in another roof point just like we did at the front there, except this one is slightly different. So we're starting the same way by having an upside down stair with one out the back on each of those pillars, another spruce plank on top of those, and then a stair once again. But this one, as I said, is a little bit different. It's slightly thinner, so on this part we actually need to have another full block with a slab on top, and that will connect us up to the middle at the same height as the one outside the front there. And we can once again have another pointy bit coming out the top just like that. And now what we have to do is connect these 2 points together. So we're going to step inside here and have an upside down stair on the side of those 2 stairs there, and then we're going to have 2 slabs either side with one right here in the middle. Coming over to the right hand side of the house here, on these two pillar blocks in the middle, we're going to basically do the same as what we've just done over there. So 2 upside down stairs with a full block on top, a regular stair, 2 more upside down ones, a full block, and then same again until we reach the top where we can have an upside down one in the middle, and once again have our little pointy bit that comes ever so slightly outwards. So you should have something like this where we can then have an upside down stair on the top part of the outer pillars, followed by a slab. So do it on that side and then this one as well, and you should have something like this at the moment, where we can then proceed to have a spruce slab on the same level as the top part of this stair right here on both sides, and on top of the slab we can have a spruce trapdoor with one in the center that just goes down ever so slightly by 3 pixels, and on top of that one we can have a spruce stair. So the right hand side of the build should look like this. And for the final side, we're going to start by placing a slab on the bottom of this upside down stair right here, where we can then have an upside down stair on both of those pillars. And then on the left hand side here, so in line with the entranceway, the 5 block gap at the front, we're going to have 1 slab, but over here on the right hand side, we're going to have 1, 2, and 3, so that we get to these 2 pillars right here, where we're going to have 2 upside down stairs, and basically just do what we've done for these 2 spots. And once again, very similar as the other sides, we're going to have a slab on the top part of the upside down stair, spruce trapdoor on top with 1 more in the middle, but instead of having a stair here, we're just going to leave it open. All we're going to do now is grab our spruce slabs, and on each of the 3 wide sections here, we're just going to place down some slabs on the bottom half of this stair block until we reach one of our taller pillar points, just like this. And then for the 5 block long one at the front, we're just going to do the same until we reach that point right there. Now we can grab a bunch of oak stairs and full blocks and fill all of the rest of the roof in. I think we're going to start off with this section right here, so facing the front of the house over to the left hand side, and all we're going to do is when we have a full spruce plank, we're going to place oak planks until we reach the pillar point. So that's 2 oak planks on the bottom. Then on the next level up we have some stairs, but on this one we actually have some planks, but we have stairs on this side. So you can see I'm just following along what we have on the outer lining roof until we reach all of the side, and it's nicely filled in just like that. The rest of these gaps are basically the same, so facing the front again, coming around to the right hand side, what we can do here is place 2 full blocks in the middle and then 3 stairs, and just try and wrap it round and connect it up nicely. So this one right here, we actually have a full block, so let's place 2 of them like that, and then we can have a line of stairs connecting up to this side. And then for this one, it's stair to stair, so we can simply have just a line of oak stairs wrapping all the way around, looking nice and neat. Moving on slightly round to the right hand side, this one is very simple. We're going to start off with 2 full planks on the bottom, 2 stairs on top of those with 1 in the middle, wrapping it round, connecting up like that. We're going to have more planks on the next one, and then a line of stairs going all the way around to the top and connecting up to this side right here. However, for this spot on top of the log here, we're going to have an oak slab with a stair facing inwards either side, and just leave that block open for now because we're actually going to build a chimney in there once we've got all of this filled in. And for the final section over here, we're going to look at this part of the build and place down 2 stairs, 2 planks, a stair, and then a full plank, and then we're pretty much just going to drag this over to the other side and connect it all up nice and smoothly. So we end up with something looking like this. Before we build the top of the tower up there, let's get our chimney in place. So the first thing is to place a full brick block, followed by a brick stair with an upside down one out the back, a full brick block on top with another stair facing in a different direction to this one. We're actually going outwards here with an upside down one around the back, full block on top with a campfire, and just surround that there with some spruce trapdoors, which ends up giving us a weird and windy chimney design. So for the top of this tower here, what we're going to have is on each of these sides an upside down spruce stair on the top with a spruce slab in the middle, followed by a spruce plank on top, spruce stair with an upside down one out the back, another plank on top with another stair yet again, and we can copy this over to the other 4 sides. Where at the top point above the stairs we can have 2 full spruce planks, on the bottom one we can cover that with 4 trapdoors, a brick wall, followed by a spruce fence. And for these 4 corner points we can have 2 full planks in the middle, 2 stairs going inwards either side with another stair on top, and do that 3 more times. And you should be left with something like this. So now we've got the general outline of the build in place, we can go ahead and start filling in some of these gaps, actually starting off at the top of the tower here. So behind the slab on each of the 4 sides we're going to place a terracotta block with 2 glass panes below it, just like that. And on the front of the house facing where the door is going to go over there, we're going to have 2 white terracotta blocks with a spruce trapdoor right there, and on the other 3 sides we're just going to place 1 block underneath all of the glass panes, just like that. What we can then do is come round to the front of the house here and fill in all of this side with some white terracotta before heading round to the front and punching out some holes. So the first one is going to go right here, and that is where our doorway is going to go. We can go ahead and place down our spruce door there, so 1 block away from this pillar here, leaving 1 block gap in the middle, and then going up by a 2 high window gap right there where we can place in some panes. And then the final spot is up here in the center at the very top where we can have yet another glass window, followed by a spruce trapdoor on the top of that so we can fold it over the front with a spruce button either side. Heading down to the bottom part here by our door, we can have a brick wall either side of it, oak fence on top, and then 3 slabs as a little bit of a covering. Heading over to this window here, finally we're going to have an oak stair, 2 trapdoors as some shutters with a plant spot and a flower of your choosing to go inside. Over on the right hand side here, just next to our chimney, on these 1 wide gaps we can have an oak stair on the bottom block and then an oak full plank at the very top with some oak trapdoors as some different window designs, so we're not only using glass panes. And then for the center here we can fill it all in with white terracotta, so we're going to have a line at the bottom, 2 either side, and then another line at the top where we can have a glass pane, and then we can just fill the rest in so that we can only see white terracotta from the front here, just like that. And then we can actually grab ourselves a grass block from the floor, place it down out the front there, and cover it up with a spruce trapdoor. Upside down oak stair either side with a spruce fence on top of those. Another oak stair on top of the fences with a slab in the middle. And then of course something to go on our grass block here. I'm using a fern. As for the back of the house, on this 1 wide section right here, we can once again have an oak stair, 2 oak trapdoors, and another full block on the top. And then these 2 sections, we're just going to fill it all in with some white terracotta, but leaving a 2 wide gap here for some window panes on both of the 2 sides, just like that. We can go ahead and actually place them down, and then just fill this top spot up here with some more white terracotta. And then finally, before we start detailing, we're just going to replace the top block and the bottom block underneath those panes with some oak stairs. On the top part of this white terracotta, we can remove that middle block there, swing around to the inside, grab ourselves an oak trapdoor and place that one down so that is flat with the surface of the white terracotta here. We can then come down to this level right here next to the window and have 1, 2 oak fence gates and flick them outwards like that before placing some spruce trapdoors on the front of them as some shutters that are being held open by the fence gates. And then we can come over here and actually have 2 stairs with a oak slab in the middle, 2 fences, and then just have a curved slab roof like that with a flower pot and a flower inside. And for this side round here, once again, we're going to go ahead and fill all of this in with some white terracotta, except we're going to remove that block right there, just the same level as the oak trapdoor. Well, actually, while we're thinking of it, swing round and place that one just like that. And then we can remove 1, 2, and 3 blocks from the middle here and replace them with some glass panes. And then we can have an oak stair either side, slab in the middle, 2 brick walls, and then 2 fences with a spruce trapdoor on top of both of those with a slab in the middle. And of course, we can have ourselves a flower pot. We're on to the final section now, the last bit of exterior work before we can head on inside. So what we want to do here is just have a ring of white terracotta on both of these, leaving a 2 wide gap here for a window on both of those. On this block we can have ourselves a spruce fence with a lantern hanging down from below. Just below this window we can have ourselves a scaffolding as a little bit of a table with a sapling or flower inside of a flower pot, and then we're just going to make ourselves a bit of a stack of barrels and cover them up with some spruce trapdoors. However, if you're actually looking to move a cleric into this house, do be careful placing down barrels because this is actually the fisherman's workstation. In my survival world, I use my custom note block texture, but a lot of you may not have this, so potentially you could do just a stack of the normal textured note blocks, or you could risk it with the barrels. Just be careful he doesn't pick this instead of the brewing stand. So that right there is the exterior all done. We're now ready to head inside and start work on the interior. It's really quite a mess in here, so before we start placing in all of the decorative blocks, we need to try and smooth out this ceiling here. And the first thing we're going to do is replace this open block here with a strip spruce log. We can then come to this corner right here, just below our chimney, and have an upside down oak stair on those two blocks with a slab below it, and then this can become two oak stairs like that. We can then step inside of this tower here that leads all the way up to the top of the point there, and we're actually going to grab our white terracotta and bring this one all the way down. So if you walk in the house on the left hand side here, that one comes all the way down to the ground level, but these two just come down to this block right here. Just above this window here, left of the door as you walk in, we're going to have ourselves some upside down oak stairs and copy that over to this side as well. We can then head into our tower section right here and have another upside down oak stair which will fold around nicely like that. And you can actually replace this white terracotta block with another oak stair, and we just want to connect that up like so. And you can even replace this block here with an upside down stair. That will look the same as it did on the outside, so no need to worry. Place a upside down stair like that with some oak planks at the top here, which looks somewhat neat. Hopefully you guys are following along okay. On this part of the build, where this section of the house connects to the smaller room over here, we actually want to place ourselves a spruce door like so, with an upside down spruce stair above it, and then we can have an oak trapdoor with another spruce stair, and then an oak plank at the top part right there. So it looks like this from this point of view, and over on the other side looks like this. And then very simply, all we can do is have an oak stair, and then another one folded round like so, with a full block in the center here. That right there is the most difficult part of the build out the way with. Sorry if it wasn't all that clear. The smaller room here is super simple compared to the rest. We simply want to have 3 upside down stairs on either side with a line of full blocks there at the top. We'll come back to this and do some decoration later, but for right now let's add in a way up to get to our tower. Now, villagers like to climb ladders sometimes but often can't get down from them, so maybe place your ladder here and avoid the bottom block there, but just for neatness I'm going to place one at the bottom, and we're going to pillar all the way up until we get to this top level here, where we actually want to have a spruce trap door. So you should be able to climb directly up and actually have a platform to stand on here at the top of the tower, giving you a nice view of the emptiness of the flatlands biome. But then at the very top point there we can have a torch and just cover it up with a spruce trap door. Just so we can get ourselves a little bit of light inside of this house, let's go ahead and place down a spruce trapdoor on this pillar here with a spruce fence and a lantern there down below it. So now we can actually see things. Let's work on the floor. So basically we're going to take out all of these grass blocks here and replace them with a zigzag pattern of these stripped oak logs. So one will face that way, the next will go horizontally, forwards, sideways, forwards, and so on and so forth, and you eventually will end up with this pattern, but for the entire floor. So you should now have something looking like this, fingers crossed, and we are finally ready to start work on adding in some decoratives to really make this place feel alive. So the first thing we're going to do is have ourselves a furnace in this corner here and just connect it up with our chimney using some brick walls, so it looks like all of the smoke up there actually has a source in the furnace. And now what we can do is have a spruce stair beside it, cover it up with some spruce trapdoors and waterlog the stair as a substitute to the cauldron, because the the cauldron is in fact the Leatherworker's workstation. Just to the right of this furnace here, next to this window, we're going to make ourselves a table with a slab in the middle and then 2 upside down stairs facing outwards, where we can have a brewing stand, which is the Cleric's workstation here in the center, and just beside that we'll place a few other amenities that he could possibly use whilst doing some of this brewing, or a flower pot for example, and then maybe at the top here, just to fill in this bit of empty space, we can have ourselves a clock in an item frame, or whatever you want up there really. Over in this corner here, we can have ourselves an enchanting table below the window with some bookshelves either side. I'm giving the enchanting table to the Cleric here because there isn't a specific enchanter villager, so he's kind of got that profession at the same time. I could see him getting some use out of it, but we'll go ahead and cover that enchanting table up with a spruce sign out the front, spruce pressure plate on top of the bookshelves, really can't say that sometimes, pressure plate, and then we'll have an item frame with some lapis just in there, ready for some enchanting. This wall at the front of the house is looking quite empty, and I think we need to do something about that. So what we're going to do here is display some items that the Cleric maybe uses in brewing on top of some shelves, aka spruce trapdoors. So we'll have one in the corner here, another one just above the lapis block, and make sure you're actually placing them on this level here, not up a block. As you can see, you can place them on that right there. So yeah, we'll have one in the corner, one above the lapis block. We'll have another one in line with this window pane here, 2 more at the top, and then another one right here. On this double one, we can have ourselves a chest, maybe is some extra storage. We'll have ourselves a plant pot with a dead bush inside with a fern in the corner here, so maybe this is the same bush but he forgot to water this one maybe, for example. And then we'll stick our dead fire coral in there, or whatever you want in replace of it if you don't have access to the coral reef biome like we said about in the start. And then we'll just add in some sea pickles over there. So that right there is this main room fully complete, as well as the top of the tower of course. So now we can head through this door and do some work on the Cleric's bedroom, because of course he needs a place to sleep. So we're going to have ourselves a cyan bed in the middle, scaffolding to the left, and upside down spruce stair to the right. We can then have a spruce trapdoor followed by a spruce fence and another lantern hanging down below. And then we'll just add in a few more decorative bits. So we'll have a flower pot on top of the scaffolding, item frame with something inside. Maybe this is his magical fancy food that he's brewed up for himself somehow. I'm not sure. Place whatever you want in there really. And then we're going to go ahead and actually place down some paintings. So we'll place a temporary block there with a painting down below, and then leave a gap of 1 and place another one down here. So that, everybody, is the interior of the house all done. As you can see, we have moved our Cleric in, who obviously hates this house because he's left instantly. How very kind of you, sir. So what I actually did in my single player world is to stop them from leaving, I put a spruce trapdoor on the top of that block and one on the bottom, and simply folded it up like that. So I could very easily leave and re-enter the building, but they are unable to do that. Plus it looks basically the same from the inside. So there's a little tip if you're looking to trap a villager inside of here. But that, everybody, is gonna do it for this tutorial. I really hope you guys did enjoy the first episode of this mini-series, and you continue to stay tuned for the rest of them. I think it's gonna be really fun. They're gonna be coming out weekly, every Monday, in replace of my normal tutorials that I do. But thank you guys ever so much for watching this one. I really hope you did enjoy, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.